Hey everyone, in today's video I'm reviewing the Chanel Spring 26 collection and finding the items for you. If you watched my other videos, you know that I had a connection to this Chanel Spring Summer 26 line, and I have a piece of paper set up here. I'm re-reviewing the collection and thumbnailing the items as I see them. And the first one is this split front knee-length skirt with a belt and 3 non-functional buttons on the right side. The second item coming down the runway that I saw was this lined in contrast knee-length angled slit skirt. And it's beautiful as is, which you could interpret solid to print, solid to solid, or you could make that piece, instead of an underlay lining, you could just insert a contrast, which would be probably cheaper in the long run as far as consumption and make. This is the third item I saw coming down the runway, which is also another skirt. And I have the same skirt essentially as the first item, except this one has a drop waist. And I think after reviewing the runway show that I incorrectly identified the first one as having the drop waist band attached to the top. Instead, it's actually attached to the skirt. And so you'll see that I have 2 versions of the same skirt here. Immediately following that, coming down the runway, was this bi-level skirt. The top layer was like a mini skirt, which has been selling recently in the stores. And then the bottom part was a high-low, which is a fantastic update. I see it as solid and sheer, print to print, print to solid. Also is this update to the satin bias skirt that's been selling for almost 2 years now. It's now a 4-point coming down the Chanel runway, which is a fantastic update, and it may not even be more yield and make, and I will sketch some versions of it in my next video. So if you've been watching my screen, you'll notice that the Chanel collection has a lot of drop waist skirts, pants, dresses, and as a designer, let's say that you're designing an item top line. You want to ask yourself what tops go with drop waist skirts and pants. So for instance, if I'm an item bottoms designer, I'm going to be doing a lot of drop waist, and that will give an opportunity for a item top designer to maximize that silhouette. Notice that I'm not sketching the whole time. That's because you're not always going to have an item coming down the runway. But when you find the item and you sketch it, what you'll do is you'll put a check mark next to it as you see it come down again, and in a different fabric, a different color, or maybe it's, in this case it's the skirt, it's the bottom part, and I saw it on the bottom of a dress, so I'll put a check mark next to it. Here comes another drop waist skirt. Fantastic. Black and white, wide yoke with black trim on the yoke and on the overlay skirt. As I said earlier, there are going to be gaps in this video where I don't talk and I'm not sketching. And you're probably wondering why you're just watching the Chanel runway show on my laptop as it's coming down and there are these gaps. Well, what you're doing is you're training your eye that every time you see it come down the runway with the item you've already sketched once, you're checking it. And at the end, you will have data on how many times you saw it come down the runway, how many different versions. And so you will have empirical data on what Chanel believes is the item, and then you can interpret it and find out if it's right for your customer. At the end, I'll have it inked in and you'll see the check marks next to all the sketches. This next black skirt is a fantastic combination of a lot of the skirts that we've seen so far in the show. It's got a wide, approximately 4-inch yoke with a couple buttons on the left side. And then it's got that mini skirt feel, but with another flared layer underneath that. So it's got the three things working for it. They did show it in a long version. I feel it works better as this shorter version. If you've watched my video all the way to this point, congratulations, we're almost done. Done a great job training your eye to look for the item. And finally, the last item that I found in the spring-summer collection for Chanel 2026 is this drop waist yoked A-line skirt. The other version that I thought was great that I did not sketch is the drop waist yoked mini skirt version of this. Easy to overlook because the silhouettes are very simple, but what I see here is a gold mine of opportunity. If you could test these silhouettes for a bestseller first and then test it with the 3 criteria to see if it's a core item and or a seasonal core item, that's money in the bank. So I hope you watch my other videos if you don't know what those criteria are. And if no one's told you today that they believe in you, I believe in you. Thank you. See you in my next video.